Hi everyone, welcome back to our business ethics class. So in this lecture, we'll talk about environmental sustainability and the kind of business ethics that are associated with it. We do face a lot of environmental challenges like species extinction, climate change, and pollution. Therefore, the transition to sustainability is often described as the next major economic revolution, kind of within this context of more and more severe environmental challenges. So business now measures success not just in financial terms, but also through the triple bottom line. So people, planet, and profit. So we'll talk about this a little bit more. And they also a lot of them also kind of apply these three pillars of sustainability, of that's economic sustainability, environmental sustainability, and social sustainability. So a lot of businesses actually use these three pillars of sustainability to measure their success and measure the well-being of their business. Like I probably don't need to talk about or explain why we should be motivated to care about sustainability and the environmental challenges in general. But so there is a lot of self-interest in there. So this is essential for us. There is also moral obligations and also pragmatic considerations. So we do have pretty good reasons to care about sustainability from a lot of different aspects. If we care about sustainability, like how do we do it? So there would be different approaches and models we have for it. So the first is market-based approaches. So they argue that free markets can efficiently allocate resources and manage environmental challenges. So for instance, competitive pricing for limited resources like fossil fuels, and also innovative substitutes for scarce materials. However, this has been critiqued as well because there will be market failures such as externalities, for instance, pollution, and the absence of prices for public goods like clean air. And also, a lot of people say that frequently there is a delay in like the reaction of the market. So sometimes when the market already gives a reaction or gives a kind of like reflection, at that point it's pretty late and probably it's already too late for us. A lot of those who disagree with the market approach went after the regulatory approaches. So they argue that governments should step in to set standards and enforce environmental protections that's in these acts. So these laws shape the burden of proof from victims of harm to potential polluters, emphasizing prevention over compensation. So it was a pretty important turning point. If we talk about two approaches or models, there are also three principles business adopting sustainable models frequently focus on. So the first is eco-efficiency, which focuses on reducing waste and improving energy efficiency. The second is biomimicry, which tries to design products and systems modeled on nature. And the third is service models. So it shifts from selling products to providing services. So basically, for we already have a model in place. Now those principles kind of help us to ground and put into practice the kind of missions, ideals, or models we have, the kind of values we have. So we kind of have more tangible tasks at this point. So much more detailed, much more focused. So if we talk about business ethics and environmental challenges and sustainability in general, something we have to talk about is the role of government regulations and government regulations definitely have a huge impact on businesses and play a very important role in the lives of businesses and organizations. So, a lot of government regulations focus on prevention rather than compensation. So they set minimum standards for air and water quality, species preservation, and pollution control. So, like here, individuals have like double roles. So as consumers, individuals can demand environmentally friendly products, and as citizens, they can support policies and regulations promoting environmental protection. So, government regulations is also how we, each as individuals, can kind of participate and kind of use our power and rights. So there are a lot of regulation-dependent models, like what we talked about just now. However, there has been a lot of challenges to regulation-dependent models as well. So, firstly, business influence on legislation. They sometimes can lobby to weaken or bypass environmental regulations. Sometimes they can pay scholars to do certain research to change legislation. Sometimes businesses pay, let's say, certain universities and institutions, organizations to teach like the younger generation or to teach undergrad students or college students like a certain idea, which will probably in the long term kind of shift the which environmental acts are passed and kind of shape like voting and stuff. Business also influence on customer choice. For instance, there are advertising and marketing, and also limitations of jurisdiction. So, pollution and environmental degradation often cross state and national boundaries, so make it sometimes hard. Also, there is implicit assumption of growth. So regulatory models often assume economic growth is inherently benign, overlooking the environmental impacts of how growth is pursued. So there has been a lot of challenges to regulation-dependent models. In contrast to the regulatory model, the sustainability approach integrates economic, environmental, and ethical responsibilities into business strategies. So this paradigm is built on 3 pillars. So we've talked about it just now a little bit. So economic sustainability, so ensuring profitability without compromising future resources. Environmental sustainability, so reducing waste, conserving resources, and protecting ecosystems. Ethical sustainability, so meeting present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. Sometimes we also talk about social sustainability as well. A different like framework of evaluation and also framework of kind of like setting goals and missions for a company would be the triple bottom lines for sustainable development. So we want to focus on balancing people, planet, and profit. So the people aspect would include addressing poverty, population growth, and social equity. The planet aspect would focus on recognizing biophysical limits to growth, such as finite resources and waste absorption capacity. And also profit, so achieving financial success while preserving environmental integrity. So this shift requires rethinking the traditional circular flow model of economics to incorporate a biosphere-based model. And this model, or this kind of framework of triple bottom line, is what a lot of businesses are using right now.